Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to a new video. If you're new around here, my name is Maneet. I make new videos every single week about topics that hopefully make your life a little more productive. Now today's video is a special one. Just recently I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and just shortly after that, I also surpassed 1,000 followers on Instagram. If you're watching this right now, I want to spend a quick minute saying thank you. I really appreciate every single one of you. Take the time and watch and click on my videos and comment and subscribe. It really means a lot. I would not be here right now making these videos if it wasn't for you. And to celebrate, I am doing a full-on Q&A video, lots of questions to answer today, and I'm so excited to finally get to interact with a lot of you who comment on my videos. So in true YouTuber fashion, let's start the 1,000 subscriber Q&A. Alright, so the first question I have today is from Ikjo. How do you manage to make time to record and edit your videos? And there's also a few other questions regarding Final Cut Pro or Adobe, and how do you manage all the space that you need? Managing time is definitely a tough part of the YouTube life. When I started taking YouTube more seriously, it was right when COVID-19 started, so in the beginning of March. So working at home full-time definitely helped with the ability to work more. And then on top of that, weekends have been just like dedicated to grinding out YouTube work without having to go to any social events or anything like that. It's really freed up a lot of time, and I've been taking full advantage of that. Regarding the editing question on Final Cut Pro or Adobe, I am an Adobe Premiere guy. I also used, before Premiere, I was more of an After Effects guy doing like animations and stuff. It all kind of connects together really well, so it's just easier to be in one ecosystem. And then regarding the storage question, I keep all my footage on my NAS. It's a network attached storage. I have a full series on this topic if you're interested to know how this works. Having a NAS has changed my whole workflow for archiving and backing up all my files. All right, next question here is from Jagmeet. Is it easy to speak in front of a camera? This honestly took a lot of practice, and it's still something that I am working on. And I have to say it's an acquired skill, but it's one of those things that it's like the biggest fear of starting a YouTube channel, right? Getting in front of a camera, seeing yourself on camera, and talking on camera. But once you get over that fear, it is 100% freedom after that. I know, like, going back to my old videos, I still to this day cringe when I look at my old videos. But if you get over that fear, it gives you the freedom to create and focus on the content. It's definitely a challenge. I still like have to repeat myself a lot when I talk to a camera, and I don't think I would be able to do what I'm doing right now with other people around me. I hope I can get to that point, but it's a journey. It's just a skill that you have to learn. And once you get over that hump of being afraid to talk into a camera and what people will think of you or the way you talk into the camera, you have freedom, and that's the best way I can describe it. All right, the next question here is from Manjot and her sister Herleen. And real quick, a big shout out to Manjot, who won my standing desk giveaway contest, and a big shout out to Herleen, who is asking, how can a new YouTuber acquire a new audience? And I have to say, first of all, Herleen, shout out to you for having your own YouTube channel, Herleen the Queen, check it out. And I know you made a video about slime, and it doesn't matter what your topic is, because slime is such an interesting topic to me. And it also doesn't matter which platform you use. One thing I'm learning is if you're on Instagram, or I know, Herleen, you're on TikTok, use that as a way to build a community around you. And if you are into slime, make YouTube videos, but also TikToks about slime. Build a community around that. And once you build that community, they will follow you to any other platform that you're on. So use all the tools that you have available to you to your advantage. The next question here is from Indrapal Virji, and he's asking, what is your 5-year plan professionally speaking? And this is a question I was kind of scared to answer, because I've always been the one that has really struggled to figure out what I want to do with my life. Like, for the past several years, ever since I finished school and started working full-time, I've never really had, like, a lot of people like know what they want to do, right? Like, I want to be this person when I grow up, or like, this is my career path to eventually be this. Like, they have a goal in mind. I don't have that. I don't have like, this is what I want to be. But one thing I have realized over the past several years that has stayed consistent with what I'm doing, no matter what kind of work I do, is my love and passion for making videos that help people. And that has varied on tech videos, productivity videos, sick tech videos, etc. I'm realizing that this is something that I genuinely enjoy, and that passion has not changed over the past several years. My current plan is, I have a full-time job. I'm going to continue pursuing that as a project manager, but I'm going to also make more of an effort to pursue this YouTube career. And I would love, the dream job here is to have a sustainable income off of YouTube. I don't know what that looks like yet. I know like the feeling that I'm going after, and I know where I want to end up being with YouTube, but how I get there is still kind of a question mark. So I hope that answers your question. The next question here is pineapple on pizza, and this is a very easy answer. If there's pineapple on your pizza, you are not eating real pizza. The next question here is from Pavandeep Kaur, and she asks, how do you not get overwhelmed with your organization system? And she spells organization with an S. Shout out to my UK friends, and also a huge shout out to Pavandeep Kaur. If you don't follow her on Instagram already, she has an amazing page with really nice artwork, so I'll link that down below as well. But to answer your question, this is something that I've been struggling with a lot lately, and I have to say, well, one thing I want to say is I read a book recently called Essentialism, and I'll be posting a video about this next week. But one lesson I learned is that the word priority used to be a singular word. It did not used to mean like multiple priorities. It used to only have one priority, and that would be the only thing that you would focus on. But somehow in the past few decades, that has turned into priorities. So there's more than one. And that really struck me because I have always been someone who could think, okay, I have like 100 priorities, I have to do all of these things, and staying organized has become such a task because there's so many things to organize. Lately, like this past few weeks, I literally sat down and I had to just cut out a bunch of things from my daily routine that are not priorities. They may feel like priorities, but in reality, I would rather have a smaller list of 1 or 2 priorities in my life and treat them as real priorities. And that has helped prevent me from becoming overwhelmed. So that's the biggest piece of advice I can give to you regarding that. And stay tuned for next week's video on essentialism. I hope that also helps. The next question I have here is, what are your thoughts on COVID-19 right now? And I am very blessed to be living in the northeast of the US right now, where things aren't as bad, but it just blows my mind how the United States is literally the worst country in the world regarding COVID response. And the fact that people aren't wearing masks is just mind-boggling to me. So if you're watching this, please wear a mask whenever you leave the house. And shout out to Mom. I don't know where she got these things from, but they make wearing a mask with this thought much easier. If you have your ears tucked in and you don't have access to your ears, you just put on the buttons and, gets the job done. All right, the next question here is from Herline, and she's asking, what is your favorite memory from this year so far? And I think this answer is pretty obvious. Herline and I had our Ardas in January of this year. And a quick story regarding the Ardas, when we were planning it originally, it was going to be in March of this year. And then during the planning, that changed to January. And we are so blessed that it was changed, because had it been in March, it probably wouldn't have happened, or it would have been a very different Ardas than what we had planned. So we were very blessed to have had it in January before all this craziness started this year. The next question here, while I'm at a red light, is from Just Guttin, and he asks, how can you do Instagram and Facebook Live at the same time? And I don't know if you can, because Instagram is very strict with how you do live streams on their platform, but check out this video by Nerd Singh. He walks you through how you can go live on Instagram using your computer, and like using OBS or streaming software. But I don't know if Restream will support that or not, so check that out. The next question here comes from Harsev Singh, and he asks, what are some must-read books for everybody? And before I answer the question, a huge shout out to Harsev Singh, who is a mechanical engineering student. He just started an Instagram page called Sarblo Engineering, and I want to shout that out. He has some really interesting projects on there. Check that out. But to answer your question, there's one book that I want to recommend first called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramneet Sethi. This is a book that will change your life regarding finances and personal finance. If you don't know anything about investing or credit cards or paying off debt or anything like that regarding stocks or long-term retirement funds, this book will teach you everything. And I wish this was a book that was required to be read when you were in high school, because the earlier you read this book in your 20s or your teenage years, the better off you're going to be later on in life. But the second book that I want to recommend is a close runner-up, and that is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And this book needs to be a requirement for everybody to read, because it will tell you how to talk to people properly with respect and how to understand people, the small things that you can do to properly have interactions with people. So between these two books, the life skills that you will learn are immense. The next question here is from Savneet, and she asks, pizza or noodles? And one thing that I've learned is after you get engaged or you get married, I'm assuming, is that your palate for food will expand. And I have learned to really love noodles, and Harleen loves noodles. So she has introduced me to the world of pho and ramen and the amazing wonders of noodles. And I have to say it's a close runner-up to pizza. I think it's going to be really hard to beat pizza in any kind of way. The next question here is from Raj Singh and Jaskudden, and they ask, what is your favorite pizza place? And this is an easy one for me. House of Danny's in Queens, New York. If you're in the area, you've definitely been there at one point or another. And the reason why it's so good is they have a little sweet sauce. It's not like regular pizza sauce. It's a little bit sweet. And some people hate it. Some people love it. I obviously love it. And I get the sauce on the side, dip it with the pizza. It's the best thing ever. But there's also another reason why, and it's because we have been to Danny's so many times, like 10 minutes away from JFK. So if you're in the area, it's like a must stop by kind of place. And also it's like the place that all the Sangha goes to after New York Samagam or during New York Samagam. That's like the pizza place. And at one point, Danny's actually on their Instagram posted a picture with all the Singhs who went there after the New York Samagam. And then also I had a surprise birthday party there 2 years ago now, end of 2018. And that we had a cake, and the people there, like they were just so funny. So it's like the weirdest family that you can imagine within our Sangat with like a restaurant. Like the Danny's people like totally like know us all, and like we all go there all the time. So Danny's Pizza in Queens, New York. Haven't been there yet, you have to go. It's definitely an experience. The next question here is from DGN Sounds, and they ask, how do you balance life as a creator with spirituality, fitness, family, jobs, etc.? And this one is such an important question, and you know, being a creator is all about hustling. If you're into like YouTube work or any kind of art kind of work, you know that the best thing you can do is just keep creating and putting your work out there, right? And finding a balance is very, very important and difficult. And I'm reading a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk right now, and if you don't know who he is, he's a huge social media influencer. He's like the guy when it comes to any kind of social media. And in his books, he keeps talking about you gotta hustle, but family comes first. I take that one step farther, and Sikhi comes first. So regardless of how busy you are or the amount of work that you have, Sikhi always has to come first. So yeah, if you're a creator, you have to hustle, you have to keep working, you have to work really hard and put in the hours, but don't ever lose sight of what's really important with Sikhi and your family, and you can never get that time back. And obviously with Sikhi especially, now is the time you want to keep focusing on that. And the last question I have here is from Simmerjeet, and he says, jalapeno and pineapple is the best pizza topping because it's sweet and spicy. Do you agree? Bro, that is just so much wrong on so many levels. No pineapple on pizzas. That's it for the Q&A. Thank you so much for watching. If there was a question that you wanted to ask me that I did not answer in the video, you can always leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. I promise I read every single comment. It really means the world when you guys ask questions, so don't be afraid to ask. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.